Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome to Marked by Wrestling. We are back with NXT. Fun fact, it is the year end awards for NXT, but it is a pre taped show. We'll be doing our little experiment of trying to pause at commercial breaks for people like me who are streaming it versus those of you who are watching through the CW. So anyway, I hope everyone's had a great Christmas and looking forward to the new year. We're going to have a lot of fun. Tonight, at the end of tonight's show, I invite you to hop on over to Just Alex's channel because he will be doing his end of the year awards. And on his channel, and myself and A&B Convos will both be guests on that broadcast. And we're starting off tonight. Ricky Saints entering the building earlier today. And we do have Ricky versus Javon one-on-one tonight as well. We're a week away from New Year's Evil, where we're going to have Obafemi defending his title. So we'll see what we have there. All right. So I'm gonna have to shake off the ring rust, so to speak, for me, because it's been a minute since I've been here. So I've been spending a lot of time with the family, which has been wonderful. As it appears, we're starting things off with our North American title match tonight. We've got Moose challenging Ethan Page for the North American title. Could we actually get a TNA superstar with an NXT championship one of these days? Probably not, but we'll see what happens. So I've been a little out of the loop. I did not watch NXT next week, and I have not seen Raw from last night. So any news you give me is going to be news to me for the most part. I did hear that the Usos are the new tag team champions. Not entirely surprised there. They seem to really throw a lot of weight behind the Usos when they brought Jay back into the tag division as well. I imagine they probably wanted to get the titles off of AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, so AJ Styles can focus on having singles matches, as it might be, his retirement year. And so we're gonna focus on him probably getting a lot of the matches he wants to get, and he is clearly going to be on a collision course with Gunther before he's done. Dro, I did see the Jake Paul fight, though. I did see the Jake Paul fight, which was fantastic. I mean, it was a terrible fight. Jake Paul was an embarrassment, but I was happy to see him get knocked out. And yes, I did see some of the aftermath of Joshua's car accident. I'm glad he's okay, even though apparently not everyone he was riding with survived, which is a really sad thing. They did out Pizza the Champs, Jacy. You're 100% correct on that, man. I'm glad. Maybe with the Usos being tag team champions now, you can probably see that probably a renewed emphasis on the tag division. I wouldn't even be surprised if some of the SmackDown tag teams migrated over to Raw to give us some more feuds there. We'll see how that goes, though. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Justin, good to see you, man. Yeah, I did see Jake Paul dressed like Hulk Hogan. Kind of hated that, to be honest. I hated that for Hogan. I don't feel like Ethan Page beating Dr. Wagner Jr. and lost to Dr. Wagner Jr. at the same time. Was that on the AAA show, Justin? Yeah, Jake Paul was trying to do takedowns, man. He looked sad. And we're getting right to the ring announcements here. So I'm sure these matches, the endings to these matches are probably already out there online. However, I don't think it has been made public knowledge. Oh, and Ethan Page jumps on Moose during the intros. So we're starting the match now. I did see Sophie. I did see that Dom appeared to have gotten injured in that AAA show. I wonder what that could mean for the Intercontinental title. Nevertheless, I don't think the year-end awards are public knowledge, so that should at least be surprises for tonight. Although looking at some of the categories, I don't feel like it's going to be that big of a surprise. There's some pretty major. Oh, Moose goes for a spear right away and clocks the steps on the outside of the ring. He did have 3 title belts for a second. Oh, so he did get the Latin American title, but he lost it again. Oh, wait. Do you think I remember this? They restarted the match. Is that right? They restarted the match and he lost it back? Or Wagner won? Yeah, I do remember this now. Thank you, Nico, for hitting that like button. By the way, guys, while you're here, just go ahead and hit that like button on the video while you're here. And we'll keep getting things boosted up. It has been a great year for Marked by Wrestling. We still got mountains to climb, but we're almost at 3,000 hours. So we could be getting memberships coming really soon if we can stay consistent and keep those views up, keep those likes up, and keep those watch hours up. We could be doing some really good things. George, good to see you, man. Yeah, the Mega Championship. You know what, man? If you asked me, put that Mega Championship on El Grande Americano. That dude is over like Rover in AAA. It's absolutely crazy. Looks like we're at a commercial break already. So that's crazy. I feel like we just got started. So, Shamanica, good to see you as well. If I didn't say hi earlier, good to see you. And just if you're just now hopping in, just want to let you guys know again, to after the show tonight, to hop over to Just Alex's channel, where we will be myself and A&B Combos will be guests on his channel for his Year End Awards show as well. George, you are my commercial man. Can you confirm to me that we're on commercial right now? Because I have paused the show. So we're going to have to be creative again tonight on our stream for this. So there we go. You know, we always talk about breaking up the Judgment Day. I feel like we all get there every once in a while, right? But this time, you know, I almost feel like you could break off the Judgment Day and like have the women still be together at this point, because I feel like Liv and Raquel and Roxy are still interesting together. Finn could, but with Dom, if Dom's really hurt, Finn could go solo, or even Finn and JD could be a good face tag team, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't know where you put JD necessarily, but I feel like JD could do something more than what he's doing. Like, he's shown that he can get over with the crowd just on his in-ring work alone. And I think a lot of the crowds still haven't forgotten just how tough he was from like last year or early in the beginning of this year when he got injured against the War Raiders, you know, and punctured his lung and still finished the match. So like, I think he could be a bit of a scrappy underdog. But yeah, Finn, from what I've heard, I think has a quest for singles gold himself, but yeah, I don't know what'll happen there. I did not see the Wyatt Six Psycho Circus match. Did it live up to the hype? I'm curious what you thought about that. I would love to see that. I would love to see that match when I get there. Yeah, and Mello finally made it to the top of the mountain, to the top of the mid-card mountain. At least he is our new United States champion. I got to admit, if it's acceptable and allowed to feel two things at the same time, I'm both very happy for Mello, and honestly, I'm a little sad that Dragunov's reign felt cut short to me. He was doing great work with the Open Challenge. I don't know if Mello is going to continue the Open Challenge or if they're just going to push that off to the side. I don't know what's going to happen there. But thank you, Lockwood, for letting us know you're back. We're back from commercial. Yeah. So, yeah. I'm really happy for Mello, though. I mean, he's more than earned it. He's put in so much work, and I think a lot of people were making accusations that he was being held back, but there he is. He is our United States champion now, and I'm sure he'll match up well with a lot of guys in that division. So, anyway, we'll see what happens. Listen, man, I would love to see Ilja. You know, this might be shocking to some of you because I am compared to some other streamers, I'm a bit of a Cody apologist. But I 100% think that Gunther should take the title from Cody at this point, the real WWE title. Um, I think Gunther should have that match and go ahead and slap Ilya and Gunther together for the WWE title. I know that feels like a really big ask of it being for the WWE title, but why not? Why not? Like, why not us? Or why not them? You know what I mean? 3 Stages of Hell, it's been a very long time since we've done 3 Stages of Hell. The last time I remember it was like Shawn Michaels and Triple H. And I think it's been since they've done it since then, but that's the last time I remember it. And that was like in 03 or 04. Surely it's been less than 21 years, but who knows? But yeah, I'm happy to see some sort of grudge match gimmick for Cody and Drew. I think that is necessary at this point to keep that feud going. And I'm curious what the matches will be, where they're going to go with that. Cena and Ryback did it. Okay, so yeah, I was less committed to watching wrestling every week when Cena and Ryback were on top. Fatu, huh? Yeah, I mean, Fatu's got to come back at some point, right? I think they have missed him. Yeah, Moose really is selling that shoulder, George. I mean, ever since he went into the steps before the commercial break, good sell job by Moose here. And throwing chops here to Ethan Page. I tell you what, we got to give our boy George credit here in the chat. He was the only one calling for Thea Hale to win the North American title from Blake Monroe a couple of weeks ago. And little did we all know what the wrestling fates had in store for us that night. But yeah, Thea Hale still currently the women's North American champion. But I believe we're getting a rematch next week at New Year's Evil. Ethan Page going for a cover, only 2. And even with one strong arm, Moose just launches Ethan Page out of that kick out. Sophie, was it 3 Stages of Hell? Gargano and Cole? I know the first title match they had at TakeOver Brooklyn was 2 out of 3 falls. But they did a 3 Stages of Hell too? I think you're right. I think you're right, because I think one of them was a cage match, right? Modfather, good to see you, man. Oh, Modfather, good to see you. We are in the opening segment. I've got us clocked in at about 9 minutes and 40 seconds or so. Let me see if I can hop back in here and see what my time code is. Yeah, I'm at about 10:06, but we're in the Ethan Page Moose match, opening match. Yeah. Oh, Sophie, I wouldn't imagine a ton of NXT getting love outside of, say, Obafemi. But we'll see what happens. I don't know the voting habits of Just Alex's audience, but I'm excited just to be a part of the conversation. It should be a lot of fun tonight after the show on Just Alex's channel. Myself and A&B Combos Wrestling Edition will be guests on Just Alex's channel for his end of the year awards. Spear from Moose, but he's just almost out of gas from that shoulder. Who do I think is NXT Male Superstar of the Year? George, I mean, for me, it's got to be Obafemi. I can't remember who all is nominated. You could make an argument for Trick. But I think it's got to be Oba. He was dominant all year long as world champion. He started the year winning the title, and he kept the title all year long, except for about 3 weeks, and then he won the title back from Ricky Saints, and he also faced Cody Rhodes at that Saturday night's main event. Like, that's not for nothing. Oh man. Ethan Page backdrops Moose on the outside of the ring on the steps. And he didn't land flush on the steps. I think his back took a little bit of a beating there. I think Javon had a great year, Lockwood, for sure. I think he did have a great year, but when it comes to naming like the best wrestler of the year, if you're going to kayfabe it, if you're gonna kayfabe it, you have to acknowledge that Javon Evans still has not won a title yet, and he's had a lot of chances to win titles, and he cannot come up with a title. Now, obviously, I think that time will come for him for sure, but yeah, that's why I wouldn't name him Superstar of the Year. Mod Father, that ball brother in the ring. This is Moose from TNA. He came out. Oh, and Twisted Grin does it. Ethan Page retains. That match is packed up. Yeah, that was Moose from TNA. He came out a couple of weeks ago to challenge Ethan Page for the North American title and came up short. Page really exploited that shoulder injury. Honestly, Ethan Page has an argument for Superstar of the Year as well. He's had a fantastic year in NXT, and was a multiple champion, North American champion, and also AAA mixed tag champion. Rebranded the North American title to the Canadian title. So we'll see where he comes up, but I still got to give it to Oba Femi. Still got to give it to Oba. Yeah, I don't think we've ever had, Sophie. I think you're right about that. We haven't had a 3 Stages of Hell match on regular television. Yeah, I think Oba or possibly Javon could take something for Alex's awards. I got to admit, I've been trumpeting the case for Jacy Jayne, which I never thought I would do, but she's had a heck of a year, and she's a history maker, and she's been underestimated. All right, so here's your nominees for Male Superstar of the Year. Javon Evans, who totally deserves to be nominated. I don't think he'll win this, though. We're seeing a little bit of a Javon. Yeah, he did win the Iron Survivor match, which was a great match right here at the end of the year. Ricky Saints, who did defeat Oba Femi for the world title, although he kept it briefly. I still wouldn't give it to Ricky, though. Although he was North American champion, that's right, too, this year. I forgot all about his North American title reign. That was all this year. Trick Williams, who won the first ever, not first ever, but he was NXT champion, NXT superstar, winning the TNA championship. And that was a shocking moment of the year. And I think I voted for that as most shocking moment of the year. Ethan Page, honestly, this is a great assortment of superstars here to be nominated for Male Superstar of the Year. Oh, that's awesome, Mod Father. Well done, sir. Okay, and there's Oba. Yeah, I got to go with Oba. I mean, he is the ruler. He is the bringer of war, right? Oh no, I'm not going to be mad at the results. No. I'm not that invested in it. And honestly, in this category, I think it's pretty well represented. They're all fantastic. That's crazy. Javon Evans won. I'm not mad. Listen, Javon was a bit of a breakout star across every brand WWE has. I don't think he was. He says old, not even old enough to go to Vegas. Well, listen, congratulations to Javon Evans. I feel like I don't know, but hey, he might be the most popular though. Definitely the most popular out of that list. Oh, the Just Alex Awards. Sophie, no, I'm not going to be mad about that. It's not my awards, so I'm just going to chime in with my opinion when I'm asked. So, yeah, no. Yeah, Lockwood, I'm with you on that. I'm much more into that. Didn't Nico? Oh, we're on commercial break. Sorry, I just jumped right back into the next segment. Yeah, no, listen, Javon is the future for sure. I'm finding my pause point. Okay. Yeah. Um, yeah, I think Javon is going to make a big, big impact once it's time for him to move up. I think his question is, where does he move up? My opinion, now that we've got Mello holding holding the U.S. title, if Dom can't go, if he needs to heal up, you know, and you need to crown a new Intercontinental Champion, go ahead and bring Javon up and throw him in that mix, man. I think he would be a wild Intercontinental Champion. I think he would be a great option for that. Just my opinion. Joe Hendry's concerts are always entertaining. I did not see the SmackDown one. I mean, I saw a clip of it. I think he was singing, dropping shots on Miz, which sounded pretty entertaining. So yeah. George, the word on the street is that Dom got injured during the AAA show, during the tag match with him and El Grande versus Rey Mysterio and Rey Fenix. That he hurt his shoulder in that match, but I don't have a ton more information other than that right now. But that was about a week and a half ago at this point. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes, and maybe it's not as big of a deal, but we'll see. Penta came back, fantastic. Maybe we'll get that on a DDT. Man, you hate to see it. Maybe, just maybe, we'll get that Lucha Brothers reunion sooner rather than later, and that would be fun. Having the Lucha Brothers versus the Usos, Lucha Brothers versus New Day versus Usos, maybe. I even saw Matt Hardy clamoring for a Hardy's Usos New Day WrestleMania match, which could be a lot of fun. Imagine adding the Lucha Bros to that match and having that as a four-way match. That would be absolutely wild. I think it would be a lot of fun. So who knows? Who knows what the future holds? We shall see. Oh goodness. Once again, guys, just let me know when we're back from break. I know the culling has a vignette, a backstage segment when we come back from break. So we'll just start it from there, and we'll continue on with the show once that happens. So Jericho's contract is up tomorrow. Oh well, I know he'll probably be doing his Hall of Fame run here eventually. I wonder how much. I wonder how many more matches he really thinks he has in him at this point. I'm sure he would want to hang it up in WWE. Get one more good payday. Get to wrestle in front of bigger crowds. Get the nostalgia pops and stuff like that. I have a feeling he would really appreciate that. I mean, who wouldn't? To go out that way. So could be a lot of fun. Or maybe he'll show up at the Royal Rumble. Maybe he'll collect the good old Saudi check for the Rumble. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Rumble's going to be pretty wild. I did not see Shayna's interview with CVV. Okay, good to know she's next up though. I imagine she's an entertaining interview. Oh, you know it, my father. Javon's got that. Javon, like you said it. He's bouncy. For sure. Thank you, George. Is he freaking out about a chainsaw? I'm like a chainsaw. Oh, interesting. She mentions Rhonda. Okay. All right. Izzy moving along here. We're back now. Let's see. Uh-oh. Aw, come on. Not Kendall. Wren is supposed to be facing Jacy tonight as well. Not Kendall. Well, Izzy's here in the ring now. Man, you hate to see that. Izzy Dame calling out Tatum. The NXT crowd is at it again. They and I gotta say, this is might be one of my biggest complaints about NXT is the crowd. They don't really give heel heat. They give Dom heat for everyone they want to boo. And like they're not actually really listening to Izzy's promo. They're just booing her just to do it. Which because they do that to Josh Briggs too. And they start chanting cut her mic off and stuff. And I'm like, I can't, I don't care for that. Like I love a heel getting booed out of the building, even on NXT, but let it be a reaction to what they're actually saying instead of just kind of trying to get yourself over, you know? Izzy basically saying she can't be scared by Tatum. See, they're chanting for Tatum now, and that's better. That's a better response. Okay, here she comes. Tatum's here. Yeah, it does make more sense, Lockwood, for sure. 100%. Chanting for Tatum. Because the NXT crowd wasn't always like that. I remember back when Ciampa was NXT champion and he was so over as a heel, they just removed his theme music and he just came out to a chorus of boos. And but they were actually booing him. Like they hated him, you know? So it is what it is. Justin, Ethan Page retained versus Moose. Moose sold a shoulder injury in the match, and Ethan capitalized on that. Tatum's in here apologizing that Izzy is so insecure. You know, normally I wouldn't complain about this, but this angle is a little on the melodramatic side for me. And I think Tatum's fine. Izzy needs a little more promo work. I mean, it's not like she doesn't stumble over her words or anything, but it's just connecting her promo to the emotion in the audience. It's a good question about Dragon Lee and AJ Styles, Justin. I was saying at the beginning of the show, I think that there's a chance AJ might start weeding out some of his final run of singles matches, you know, in the year to come. And maybe that was the reason they took the belts off them. No, I never said I wanted her to get demoted. Struts. All right. Modfather's ranks Vince, Flair, Penta, Oba. Those are all very good struts. And that's actually a pretty good order too. I'll have to think if there's any other struts I want to put in there. I might consider, I don't know where I would put it, Modfather, but Scott Hall's strut, which is similar to Penta's, but it predates Penta's. The Scott Hall Razor Ramon strut is also an all timer. The D'Lo strut is great. Oh, good dodge by Tatum. And Paxley hits the cemetery drive right on Izzy. I think it's going to be time for Tatum to get the win back on Izzy next week at New Year's Evil. We'll see what happens. And now we're going to get Tag Team of the Year announced here. Let's go over the nominees here. Hank and Tank, of course. Listen, Hank and Tank had a wonderful year. They won two tag team championships. They won titles in Pro Wrestling Noah and in NXT. And then Zaruka. Zaruka had a lot of fun matches. Curious if they win. I would go for Hank and Tank though. A lot of drama and feelings with Zaruka. The culling, no thanks. Fatal Influence. Well, considering Fatal Influence like switched members halfway through the year, I don't know that they should win. I think Fraxium may not qualify because they're on SmackDown now. And Dark State. I've hardly ever cared for Dark State, so I don't care to see them win either, but I can see them getting chosen. We'll know how kayfabe it is if Dark State wins, because I don't believe people voting for them either. So I'm going to say Hank and Tank. It was my vote. I could see Zaruka winning, though. Let's see who the winner is. Zaruka. There you go. I would say they're the most popular. Finally, Zarya wins something. So I'm not, well, Sophie, they had polls on WWE.com for these awards, and it's become pretty clear so far from the first two categories that they appear to be popularity contests, which that's fine. It doesn't. I'm not upset about it, but it's definitely going to fuel how I predict going through the rest of the show. Now, Fatal Influence making their way to ringside as we go to commercial, and Wren Sinclair is going to be taking on Jacy Jayne. She's not going to have anybody in her corner. Justin asked a question: do you think it's time? We'll put you on screen here. Do you think it's time to put the WWE title on Drew now than ever? Well, I'll say this. If they're going to do it, they better do it now. I feel like their best shot at doing it is doing it now doing it at this, this New Year's week, 3 stages of hell match, and having him carry it to the Royal Rumble, maybe. I just don't. I'm not optimistic that Drew will get the world title, get the WWE title, excuse me, until it's too late. Yeah, and honestly, I was gonna say, if you'd asked me a week or two ago between these two title matches, which one I think would change hands, I would have put so much down on Braun Breaker beating CM Punk, and he still might. But now I'm starting to think that Austin Theory is going to cost Braun Breaker the match, either by accident or on purpose, because I'm still not convinced that Theory's not working for Seth Rollins. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But I thought Braun was going to have a better shot than Drew. I just don't. Sorry, everybody. I don't see Cody losing that belt until WrestleMania. I think it would be a nice shock for him to lose it right before the Rumble, but we'll see what happens. Who knows? Maybe they could both change hands, or maybe they'll do the safe thing and it'll be both. Who would be the challenger after WWE title match? Yeah, that's a good question. Like, I mean, who's to say they wouldn't just give Cody a rematch? You know, but I would want Cody. I would want Cody to still be in the title picture because I don't want Cody in the Rumble. He won his back-to-back Rumbles, and let that be that. I don't need a Royal Rumble narrative anymore of Cody Rhodes winning the Royal Rumble. He got him those 2 years, and I was fine with that. But at this point, yeah, I'm curious what we'll have next. We shall see. You guys just make sure to let me know when we are back from commercial break. As we are approaching the halfway point of tonight's NXT. Yeah, getting a new champion into the new year would be a lot of fun. It would be a lot of fun. Okay. And we are back. Okay. And again, everybody, just to remind you, as Fatal Influence makes their entry into the arena tonight after the show, hop on over to Just Alex's channel, and we will be, we being myself and A&B Combos Wrestling Edition, will be joining Just Alex for his year-end award show. My Rumble winner for this year, Lockwood. Ooh, that's a good question, man. Late last year, I was all in on Sami Zayn being the Rumble champion. At this point, I'm not so sure. Jacob Fatu could be a good option if he's ready to come back. Otherwise, I'm just not sure yet. I still feel like we're too far away. We're still a month away, and they haven't done a huge build yet to who could be in the Rumble. So we'll see. It could also be Roman or Brock, yeah. Who's going to feud with Ilya? Oh, man, yeah, that's a good question. Honestly, I'd love to see Ilya and Jacob Fatu go at it. Ilya take on Aleister Black. Anybody who's a hard hitter. All right, here comes Wren Sinclair out by herself. Yeah, I'm curious if they'll even pick that up as to who attacked Jacob. We'll have to See if they do that. Ilya and the Black as a tag team. That would be crazy. The Black Dragon. Yeah, Wren is definitely distracted in this match due to that ambush on Kendall Gray. Getting an ambulance match this week. Oh, it's Aleister Black and Damian Priest. Is that right? Is that who the ambulance match is? Oh, no. Kendall could come out, George. I could see that, wanting to be supportive of Wren, but maybe her injuries, create a distraction. Wren needs to just haul off and smack Jacy Jayne. Javon Evans, the NXT Male Superstar of the Year, pacing around backstage prior to his match with Ricky Saints. Yeah, I wonder when we'll see. I imagine we see Tony D again tonight, maybe next week on New Year's Evil as well. But when he actually gets in the ring again to wrestle, I'm curious when that will be as well. I'll see you at New Year's Evil. Interesting. My Christmas was good, Sophie. I had a good time. Got some clothes. One of my kids got me a PlayStation gift card, so I was able to get some cheap games that were on sale, which was nice. Got a retro Terminator 2 game, which was a lot of fun. But yeah, some clothes, a few books. But at my age, Christmas is more about what everybody else wanted, and my family all seemed to really enjoy their gifts, so that made me the happiest. Justin, I think thematically and philosophically that J.R. Dugan, what's up, man? Glad you're here. I think Tony philosophically would fit well in the vision, but I feel like he's a little more of an unknown to the main roster audience than, say, your Javon Evanses and your Obafemis. So I feel like he'd have to have a little more name value before being a part of that group. That's just my opinion. That's just how I see it. But yeah. Anyway, Wren Sinclair still in control here of the NXT Women's Champion, Jacy Jayne. Ooh, a little bit of a stiff roundhouse kick, but she caught her. Ricky Saints, I think, would make a bigger impact than Tony D'Angelo out of the gate. Just out of name recognition for the Vision, for sure. But I will say this. Logan Paul notwithstanding, the Vision, after we're on commercial, right? Just want to confirm we're on commercial. It feels like most of the Vision is established as actual threats. Austin Theory, I know, is going to be testing that theory, no pun intended. And I know not a lot of people consider Logan Paul a threat, but I would say that he is, based on how he's been booked on the main roster up until this point. And we know Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker are absolute threats. So I think Ricky Saints or even Tony D'Angelo honestly would be booking some weaknesses into that faction that they don't need to have. I think right now I think right now they're at capacity. Without them starting, or else they're going to start getting NWO-ish and too many people. Maybe we get a Theory Waller interaction in the Royal Rumble. I could see that happening. I wouldn't see any kind of backstage segment or anything like that happening, though. I mean, yeah. Oh man, the Don Callis family is 100% at capacity, which is a shame because actually the roster of names in the Don Callis family, in a vacuum, all those guys are pretty. A lot of those guys are pretty solid, but they just don't really do anything with them, from what I've witnessed, which admittedly is not a lot, because I don't watch AEW anymore. So. But best of luck to them in their endeavors, present and future. Although I did hear that Andrade might finally get things worked out, so maybe he'll show back up sometime soon. As we await our return from commercial for NXT and resuming our one-on-one match between Women's Champion Jacy Jayne and Wren Sinclair of the Wren QCC, or NQCC, as she is announced. Although she's been holding down the fort of the NQCC all kind of by herself. I mean, Charlie Dempsey hasn't been. He's been on TNA more than he's been on NXT, and of course, Tavion Heights and Miles Bourne are off from the faction and have been for quite some time now. So it's interesting that they still are trying to keep that faction an active organism when there really isn't one to be spoken of at this point. So not sure why they're still dragging that out. Honestly, I would love for them to just move Wren and Kendall, not necessarily up to the main roster, but I would love, even if it's just for a couple of weeks, or if it's just to have like a 6-woman tag or something in NXT to take on Fatal Influence, or Fatal Influence and say Blake Monroe or somebody like that. Bring down Natty and Maxine to team with Wren and Kendall. I think that would be a lot of fun. I think it would be more fun on NXT than it would be on the main roster, because I think the crowd would be far more into what that group of ladies could do in the ring than the main roster, just because they probably don't know Kendall and Wren all that well up on the main roster yet. But hopefully they'll be getting there. And we are back with Jacy Jayne in control now over Wren Sinclair.
One of these will help you, one of these will heal you, but you gotta decide which is which.
Kneecap.
You check them, buddy.
Okay, thank you. All right. Thank you. All right. So, Jacy Jayne again, firmly in control here. Wesley Franklin, hey, man. Thanks so much to be here. Thanks so much for being here tonight. As we're reviewing our way through NXT tonight. Currently, Wren Sinclair and Jacy Jayne one-on-one. By the way, if you're just joining us, they've made their way through some of the NXT Year End Awards. The male wrestler of the year was Javon Evans, and the tag team of the year was Zaruka. So two very popular acts in NXT taking home awards this year. George, I don't see Jacy losing this match since Wren doesn't have any help at all and she's outnumbered. But, I also didn't think Thea Hale was going to win the North American title, and I was wrong about that. So we'll see what happens. Booker T calling out Wren Sinclair for lazy covers. He's really staying on her. I really want great things for Wren Sinclair, though. I'm just, as a fan, I'm taken with her. I think she's got a lot of potential. But man, she just ate that knee. I tell you what, man, Jacy throws that knee better and better every time I see it. If she gets up on the main roster and they pair her up well with somebody, she's going to make an impact. So we'll see what happens. Wren's going up top, high cross body. Only 2, though. Reminder, cattle mutilation? And she's torquing it, too. Do I think AJ Lee may get involved in the women's IC title match? You know, Justin, that's a good question. Do you think that AJ Lee and Becky Lynch are done with each other after War Games or not? That's a good question. I'm not sure that she will. I'm not sure that she will. Oh man, spinning fist. That ought to do it. And Jacy Jayne retains clean. Sorry about that, everybody. I tried to mute my mic, and y'all just got an earful. Bear with me. All right, we'll see what award comes after this match. Man, I tell you what, Jacy Jayne's strikes are very good. Between her knee strike and that spinning fist, the rolling encores, she calls it. It's impressive. I'm curious to see what should. Okay, now they're adding insult to injury, as Gorilla Monsoon would say back in the day. Still jumping on Wren Sinclair, and here comes an injured Kendall Gray. And super kick to Jacy Jayne. Big right hand to Laney Reed and to Fallon. Big German suplex. And then, flying armbar. And Jacy is tapping. Of course, this is not a match. But she's doing that damage on Jacy Jayne. There we go. And the she's holding up the women's title. Oh, and here's Joe Hendry. Okay, Joe Hendry. Once we come back from commercial break, we get a Joe Hendry concert, ladies and gentlemen. So Joe Hendry New Year's Eve concert. You guys have any New Year's plans? Curious. I'm just looking to spend more time at home and do a little bit of work here and there, and hopefully watch some entertaining football. We'll see what happens. My wife and I have introduced our kids to the TV series Friday Night Lights. I don't know if you guys have ever watched that show, but that was always a big hit in our house. So they've been enjoying that while they've been home. Okay, George, heading out for New Year's Eve. Respect. Oh, man. Dossie Chatham says, I think Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee might happen at either Elimination Chamber Chicago or WrestleMania Vegas. You actually you make a very strong point about Elimination Chamber in Chicago, because number one, yes, AJ Lee being there, having AJ Lee and Becky Lynch happening there in Chicago could make some big bank for the company, sell a lot of tickets. Also, I mentioned my previous confidence in Braun Breaker winning the world title on the first Raw, Netflix Raw. And the reason why I bring that up is, could you imagine CM Punk winning the Elimination Chamber and going on to WrestleMania to possibly face Cody Rhodes? Or maybe he gets a rematch against Braun. I don't know. But would be something curious. Having CM Punk in the Elimination Chamber match again, though, in his hometown, could be something really special. I mean, this time of year, I'm trying to think about who all the people could be in and if it was a Raw match, if it was a Raw Elimination Chamber match, having CM Punk, Gunther, Bronson Reed, AJ Styles. I would have said maybe Dominic Mysterio, but he might be hurt at that point. Or Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar. Who knows? Could be wild. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I'm definitely watching football New Year's Day. My Georgia Bulldogs are playing in the Sugar Bowl New Year's Day evening. So I'm going to keep eyes on that. And I'm definitely interested in the college football playoffs. By the way, if there are any college football fans in the chat, I know some of you guys, we talk about it sometimes. College football bowl games are always really wild and entertaining. Thank you, George. The Pop-Tarts Bowl is always hilariously enjoyable. And we've got a wild Joe Hendry appearing. Clap, clap. And here he is. They love him in London and Paris and Tokyo. Here he comes. Let's see what he's got to say. Respect, Lockwood. Michigan fan in the house. All right, let's see what kind of concert we've got in store. No. Booker T trying to sing this song, man. It is special. Oh, that would be wild if Thea joins. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh, Booker. Wow. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh my gosh, Booker's still singing. This is crazy. $2025 was a good year for Hendry. TNA champion. He had a WrestleMania match against Randy Orton. And the Royal Rumble. Yeah, Saturday night's main event. And now Joe Hendry's a part of NXT. And he's going to grace us with his singing. You think The Miz interrupts, George? I could see it happening. We'll see what he's got to say. Here comes a jam from Joe Hendry. I gotta respect, like, he's got actual, musical acumen. So I'll give Joe credit there. It's a nice guitar too. Shouting out the women's division. Okay. Javon is bouncy and he looks up to the skies. Yes.
He's actually just promoting his music career.
Yes. Ethan and Chelsea had to eat some pie. Wow, Joe. Those two titles. We thought he was going far. Turns out he's still miserable because an iguana stole his car. Mr. Iguana. I guess I had a big year too. And now shouting out the network. Oh, this is going to be made into a commercial. Yeah, he's literally putting over the TV network. That's hilarious and so smart. He just bought himself more TV time. And Booker trying to sing along. Now he's talking about Trick. Now his Trick is crying. Oh, he's talking about Ricky. Oh, okay. He's saying Ricky crying in the car too. What's up, Rickety? Good to see you, man. Wait, did y'all see Tony? Tony's standing in the corner. Not this shot. If you see him over the shoulder of the announce team in the corner. Yeah, there's Tony. Right next to the word Hendry. They're starting to do the Sting thing with Tony. I hope he didn't say anything about Tony D'Angelo. Uh-oh, the lights are out. I'm NXT's reckoning. And here comes Dark State. All right, Joe's got the chair. Yeah, come on, Tony D. Did you go help out Joe? Ain't nobody here to help out Joe as a 4-on-1 beatdown. That man's got a family. He's got a guitar. And alley-oop power bomb. Joe's being left hanging. And Vic Joseph now pointing out that Tony was watching from afar. Man. Are we on commercial now, y'all? Just let me know here. Or are we still going? Tony being the leader of Dark State could be something for sure. Okay. Okay. I've got Ava talking to Blake in her office. Blake Monroe is looking like a hot mess. Crying for a different referee. Blake looks like she just got broken up with. Something about Blake acting like a sort of pathetic loser is actually kind of endearing. I'm appreciating it. Especially with Vic and Booker T being like, she lost the match, dude. Like she wasn't robbed. I mean, we all know what happened, but come on. She wasn't. All right, Tavion Heights. I'm still waiting for Tavion to find that extra gear. You know what I mean? Oh, we're doing the speed tournament final when we come back from break. Okay. You love to see it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your boy's going to take a quick potty break and we're going to be right back. Okay. So everybody just hold tight and I'll be right with you. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for your patience on that quick break. And as always, please let me know when we're back from commercial as well. We should be back any minute now. Rickardy and Justin asking, do you think we'll see Inamura back in NXT in 2026? I really hope so. I feel like he was really just starting to get over with the crowd. He had that tag team with Briggs. The crowd was really getting into him. They broke up when Briggs went heel. And I just felt like, right at the end of his tenure, he was really starting to, heat up. And I think he could be a lot of fun as a speed champion or as a North American champion, or he could have a good feud with Ethan Page, or somebody like that. I think it would be great. Would you guys want to see Inamura back in NXT in the year to come? Meanwhile, next week, New Year's Eve, it's Leon Slater taking on Obafemi, which should be wild. And we're all right. We're back. Let's see. Hey, Shamanica. Shamanica is asking. Meanwhile, we've got Matt Cardona giving a breakdown of Leon Slater versus Obafemi. Oh, Matt Cardona picks Leon. Elijah also picking Leon Slater. 2K minute. Who do you think is a 2K cover, and what are some features and DLC characters you want to see? And they did scans of AAA referees. Oh, that's fun, Shimonica. First of all, Shimonica, I would be interested to see if they could work the Iron Survivor match into 2K. I wonder how that would work in a 2K setting. Some of the DLC characters, I'd like to see some recent Hall of Famers in there. I'd like to see the natural disasters. I would hope Demolition gets back into the game. I'm honestly, I'm naming some old school guys. I'd like to see Bam Bam Bigelow back in there. You know, I wonder if we will get a Cena themed showcase or something. I'm not super into that. But yeah, we'll see. Okay, so it's all TNA talent right now getting interviewed, and they're picking Leon Slater. I hope we get AJ Styles versus Leon Slater in 2026. I think that would be amazing, whether it's in TNA or in WWE. Either way. Well, Hank and Tank now calling their prediction. Well, Hank and Tank are split between Oba and Leon. Honestly, my favorite Rickardy, that's right, man. We are so close to 10K in the first year. So, appreciate you guys rocking with me this year. And we're almost to 10K. That'll be our next mountain to climb for sure. I really liked 2 years ago in 2K, the 40-year anniversary of WrestleMania showcase. I was a big fan of that. Something that really spans history of wrestling. Obviously, that's kind of my thing here that I really enjoy. I would like I wish there was a way to more frequently update the roster. And it's a little tough sometimes to do that because you never know who's going to be released and all that stuff. But I would love for there to be a TNA pack and a AAA pack this year already included. Less celebrities, more actual wrestlers. I don't want NBA stars or boxers or influencers or anything like that. I want every DLC to actually be wrestling related. And with them purchasing AAA and having this agreement with TNA, there's no reason why we couldn't get like Leon Slater and Moose and Mr. Iguana and the Psycho Circus and all those guys in next year's 2K. I would love to do that. And also, I said this when I was more regularly streaming as our belly to belly right out the gate for Tavion. 3 seconds. We are done. Tavion setting speed records here. Lexus is done. I want a bigger pool for a tournament. I want more than 8 slots in a tournament. I want them to be able to go all the way up to 16 or 14 if possible. That's definitely what I want to see. Well, Lexus King is donezo. He caught him with the belly to belly right out of the gate, and that was 3. 8 seconds, like a rodeo bull. Speaking of the coalition, and again, join us on Just Alex's channel right after this broadcast. Lexus King, don't put your hands on my boy. That ref is my boy. We go all the way back to elementary school, down to the playground. Nevertheless, A&B Combos Wrestling Edition in the house on the way to 10K. And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. Subscribe now. And smash that like button. Hit that smash. Give it the axe. Give it the smasher. We're Demolition, Walking Disasters. Go ahead and smash the like button. Flashback to Oba, Trick, and Javon triple threading earlier this year. This is the Match of the Year award. Sol Ruka and Kalani Jordan. That was a great match too. Soul Snatcher still looks great. We'll see who wins. Ethan Page and Ricky Saints at the Great American Bash earlier this summer. The Falls Count Anywhere match. And then Jacy Jayne versus Lola Vice at No Mercy, which could have been match of the year until freaking Laney Reed ruined everything. And Jacy retained in front of Lola Vice's family. And Obafemi versus Javon Evans at Heatwave, which was a fantastic match too. I think I voted for the triple threat at Stand and Deliver. And Oba retained, of course, there. Oh, and the Women's Iron Survivor match, which Kendall Gray won, which was a great match as well. I wouldn't be really mad at any of these matches for winning. Kendall Gray shocking the world. So who won? Yep, this is the match I voted for. Oba versus Javon and Trick at Stand and Deliver. Not much of a surprise there. And there's Ricky Saints getting hyped up backstage. Ricky versus Javon one-on-one in the main event tonight. So yeah, the awards thus far tonight have been pretty understandable. If you're just now joining us, Javon Evans won Male Superstar of the Year. Zaruka won Tag Team of the Year. And then Tag Team of the Year. Yeah, that Tag Team of the Year was Zaruka. Then, sorry, I just blanked. That was the Match of the Year so far. I don't think we've had any other awards other than those three so far. So I think we still have Female Superstar of the Year and maybe Breakout Star of the Year. I don't remember if they have Breakout Star for NXT, but we'll see. Tyrell, good to see you, my friend. You have Obafemi running down everybody in the NXT. Yeah, I'm having fun. It's fun using Oba in universe mode. I've used him for quite a bit as well. He's a lot of fun to use in that game. Again, going back to 2K wish lists as well. There's certain things I know they'll never do. But I'm not a big fan of the My Faction aspect. And I even tried like the Island this year. I don't like I can get on board with buying the season pass and then that giving you all the DLC for the year. But beyond that, I do not like spending money on the game when it's not a guarantee that you're going to unlock more characters. So I hate the notion of you having to spend money on cards and you can only use those certain cards to try to unlock a character that you can't get any other way in the game. I hate that with a passion. I'm much more into, the older days of you play the game to unlock the secrets in the game. You don't have to buy it. And also, even when you buy it, you actually get it. You don't buy a chance to get it. That's just exploitative. I don't care for that. But yeah, I would also something else I would also like. I can't remember the last game that did this because I stopped playing WWE games in between, say, SmackDown versus Raw 2011 and like 2K23. So like there's probably like 12 years worth of WWE games where I didn't play. But one thing I used to really enjoy was that, you've got all the sets and the stages and stuff, and you could actually build your own pay-per-view. Like if I wanted to stream you guys for, let's say, the Royal Rumble, I could build the Royal Rumble card. And I know you could do that technically in universe mode, but you have to do a lot of extra work for that. Just from the exhibition screen, you can go build your own pay-per-view. You can build your own Saturday night's main event, your own NXT card, your own WrestleMania, your own SummerSlam, whatever. And you could build your matches from there. And then you could just start the PLE. And then you just build through it. So that way you don't have to build each match at a time when you want to wrestle that match. You can make those 4 titles. You can, do all that stuff, and you just play through it. And I don't know why that seemed like such a simple game mechanic, because all it does is really automate the process. You just build all the matches on the front end, and then you just play through them. Thank you, George, being our timekeeper for tonight. As I see swipe right, the 80s movie villains of Evolve / NXT, swipe right coming to the ring. These guys look like they just beat up that one Stranger Things kid because they're bullies and Hawkins. I don't know if any of you guys are watching Stranger Things, the final season, but the final episode comes out tomorrow night. That's also something I'll be doing. Okay, and here comes OTM. Listen, OTM better wreck shop on these boys, or else this is going to be agitating. Lockwood, they absolutely would. Swipe right looks like they probably got some pending charges already that their rich daddy got the cops to make disappear. And that's all I'll say. But yeah, I think number one, if OTM wins this match, and number two, if they win this match, the means by which they win this match, if they wreck shop, that'll tell us a lot about NXT's future consideration booking of OTM. Let's see what happens. Yeah, like swipe right looks like a tag team that tells the cops, "Do you know who my father is?" Like that's yes. Honestly, yes. Swipe right would 100% work well with a heel Tiffany Stratton. That you might have just sold me on them. They could be her little errand boys, kind of like the opposite of what Chelsea Green has with the Secret Service. I could buy into that. A little weight discrepancy. You ain't lying, Rickardy. This is definitely looking like JV versus varsity in the ring, no doubt. Goodness gracious. Just launched one dude. Also, they have a problem with one of the guys in swipe right being called Ricky Smokes when we already have a Ricky Saints. I just don't think that's good branding for the company. And the other guy, Brad something, which is actually a perfect name for one of these guys, even if it's real name. Of course, one of these guys is named Brad. Honestly, they should probably be named Brad and Chad. But whatever. Yeah, this is Brad in the ring. Well, he's selling pretty well. A little melodramatic, but so are they. Okay, I'm glad to know Anthony Joshua was okay, Dro. Thanks for updating. Oh, like a front stomp. My GM has to 100% improve, and yeah, I would like to see some improvement, Tyrell, in the GM mode, because one thing about the GM mode in 2K is that they sometimes implement bonuses and like I don't know what you want to call them, but like those cards that you can play to like boost your stats and stuff. A lot of times in GM mode, if you're playing offline, they still give you cards that you can only use when you're playing multiplayer. And I hate that too. Yeah, kind of Dossie. I guess it didn't last too long, I suppose. Yeah. Yeah. Swipe right, I think, will have a lot of options to be the henchman for somebody on the main roster for sure. So we'll see. We'll see what comes of it. Just yelling swipe right at the crowd. That's strange. But OTM with the tag, okay, and swipe right with the tag. Big clotheslines from OTM. Oh, big slap from OTM. Says Swipe Right got knocked back to prom. This is the second time Swipe Right's had outside interference, so they have not called for a DQ. Crowd chanting loud for OTM, though. Give them credit. Another super kick. And, ooh, standing vertical suplex swung into a spine buster. Not bad tandem finisher there. Not bad at all. Now, I got to say, when I hear OTM with this music, I got to ask, where's Miss Parker? Where's Miss Parker? We have not seen her in quite a bit. We certainly haven't seen her on her own in quite a bit. So hopefully she shows up soon. But OTM victorious. And here's Jordan Grayson, NA champion, Thea Hale. Oh boy. Thea Hale is inviting Jordan Grace to be in her corner for the North American title match at New Year's Evil against Blake Monroe. We'll see what happens. And the NXT Female Superstar of the Year award is coming up soon, right after the break. Right after the break. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, so we'll see what comes of it. So Female Superstar of the Year, I can't remember the nominees, but I'm sure they'll go over them. I got to be honest, Jacy Jayne has done plenty to deserve it. I don't know that she would actually win it, though, being a heel and stuff. Maybe Sol Ruco wins it instead. But who knows? We'll see what happens. It would be wild if Thea Hale does retain at New Year's Evil, because I still maintain that I don't think she was ever intended to win that title. So if they really do adjust plans to have her retain and give her a little bit of a run, I mean, good for Thea, man. She has been she's been dedicated to NXT for a long time. So yeah, we'll see what happens for sure. Again, just to remind everybody, after the show tonight, we'll probably end promptly after the show goes off. But I'd like to invite you all to migrate on over to Just Alex's channel, where myself and A&B Combos Wrestling Edition will be participating in Just Alex's end of the year awards on his channel as well. So should be a fun time. Plenty to discuss, as always. So yeah, make sure you hop on over to that channel after we're done here with NXT. Should be a lot of fun. Yeah. So I think that's a solid thought I think we could get a heel Jordan Grace because to go back to my predictions from last year, I predicted Jordan Grace would win a title by the end of the year, and she's not going to. So like that was one of 5 predictions I got wrong this year. I was 0 for 5. And I thought her winning a title would be a slam dunk, especially after Julia and Stephanie Vaquer went up to the main roster. But that wasn't in the cards for Jordan Grace. And she stayed a babyface all year long. So I think a heel turn from her, especially with like all that muscle and all that power, like I think she honestly could be somebody. Hear me out on this. I don't think Jayne is going to lose the title to Kendall Gray, okay? But Jayne could lose her title to some babyface, right? Sol Ruca. Let's say Sol Ruca. And then Fatal Influence breaks up. Jayne goes to the main roster. You could have Sol Ruca and Blake Monroe feuding over the women's championship, and you could have Jordan Grace take that North American title from Thea Hale. Or you could have Big Mama Pump go, move on up and go on a tear and go after Sol Ruca. I mean, it's possible. But yeah, I think a heel turn from Jordan Grace would refresh her a lot and could justify her getting a title finally as well. Jordan Grace is kind of the Javon Evans of the women's division. Like she's had good matches. She's been involved in profile feuds, high profile feuds that were surrounding titles, but just can't ever walk away with the title for one reason or another. So be very, very curious to see what 2026 holds for Jordan Grace, for Big Mama Pump. We want good things for her, obviously. And so for Blake Monroe, I expect them both to have big years. I'm not sure what other kind of newcomers will have come in through 2026, but we shall see for sure. For the men, I wouldn't be surprised to see Leon Slater make his way to NXT just like Joe Hendry did. We'll see what comes of it, but we are back. So let's take a look at the female performers, the female superstar of the year. Nominees are Kalani Jordan, who did have a really good year. She won TNA Knockouts Championship. But I don't think she wins this. She did have a late push later in the year. Sol Ruca, obviously a top tier popularity. Oh, that's right. She was sold 2 belts for most of the year, with the Speed title and the North American title. And again, she made it to Saturday night's main event. Tatum Paxley winning the women's title at Halloween Havoc, dethroning Jacy Jayne, even if it was just temporary. A great moment there. JR, I'm with you, man. I feel Kalani was rejuvenated by that heel run. Blake Monroe, great debut from Blake. I still think the best is yet to come with her. So I wouldn't pick her. But she commands attention whenever she's on camera, which is what you want from a superstar. And a great entrance. And then Jacy Jayne, multiple time NXT champion. She beat Stephanie Vaquer. She was the first NXT superstar to win the TNA title. And she was the only one in this TNA NXT relationship to be world champion of both companies at the same time. Honestly, she deserves it. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Sol win this. Let's see who gets it. Yep, there it is. Sol Ruca. So yeah, all all babyface, super popular performers. And also all people who were focused on Saturday night's main event, minus Trick Williams. But so there you go. No big surprise there. New Year's Evil next week. Tatum Paxley versus Izzy Dame. 1-on-1. Will this be the end of the feud? We'll have to wait and see. And then Jacy Jayne versus Kendall Gray. If Thea Hale's taught us anything, don't underestimate the underdog. And let's see what New Year's Evil brings for us there. And then Thea Hale versus Blake Monroe. Yes, Shamanica Soul won 2 awards. She's used to carrying 2 titles. So 2 NXT awards. Not a big surprise there either. And of course, they didn't advertise it, but in this stretch, but Obafemi versus Leon Slater as well. And here comes Javon Evans making his entrance for our main event. And your boy's all business. He is what in the world? They're showing the graphic for the women's championship again. They're having a little bit of a production snafu there. I think there's 4, maybe 5 matches for New Year's Evil next week. But we're hitting commercial. And Ricky Saints should be coming out next, and that's our main event for the evening, guys. Ricky Saints versus Javon Evans. I'm curious if Javon will be present in Leon Slater's corner next week versus Obafemi, since they've been teaming up together. So I wonder if that could do things here. Honestly, I would love to see Javon take this one. I don't know what the future holds for Javon, Trick, and Oba, like 3 of our 4 men's Mount Rushmore wrestlers in NXT right now for this era. There's a chance this could be the last time we really get this is going to be the last time we see Javon as a regular on NXT. And I would love to see him go out with a win if that was the case. And he could start making waves more regularly on the main roster. I don't think we're getting a Leon and Oba face-off, Shamanica. I think they're just going to have the match next week, because we'll be back to being live next Tuesday as well. So we'll just have to wait and see. I guess they're just going to have the match there. And that's going to be wild too, because if they're already teasing Obafemi on Raw and SmackDown, I wonder how long they'll drag that out. I mean, I'm imagining we'll see Obafemi in the Royal Rumble, but will we see him there as NXT champion, or will we see him there as a main roster superstar? I think that's the question, because it would be absolutely bananas, but respectable, I think, if they wrote Obafemi off of NXT by having him drop the title to Leon Slater, because that would be so unhinged in a good way. I think, one, it would be a risk that WWE hasn't so much been taking lately, and also Thea Hill notwithstanding. I think that would be really wild, though, considering they've taken the Knockouts Championship and the TNA Championship a couple of times during the course of this agreement, and they haven't given the NXT title over to any TNA talent. And I think it would be pretty wild if Leon Slater came out next week as both the X Division champion and the NXT champion. I think that would just be monstrous. So I think that could be really cool. And then you could free up Obafemi to put him wherever you want to put him. Because if Oba is going to be in the Royal Rumble, which I'm just assuming he will, but if Oba's going to be in the Royal Rumble, I really want him to be free of NXT when he is, so that way he could maybe start building towards getting his own WrestleMania match. And if he's still NXT champion by the time the Royal Rumble rolls around, say that 3 times fast, then I think he's going to have a hard time balancing, say, Stand and Deliver and WrestleMania. It's not impossible, but I would really love to see him have a match. Like I even tinkered around with this when we were talking about Saturday night's main event and giving our predictions and stuff. I would actually love to see him wrestle Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. Once Drew is past Cody, and I don't expect Drew to be WWE champion by WrestleMania either. Just a grudge match between Oba and Drew, and just let them fire off at each other in Vegas in front of that crowd. And I think it would be dope. Yes, JR. I think Drew and Oba could cross paths again. My theory behind that, though, is not interrupting Cody's match, but maybe them bumping into each other in the Royal Rumble and Oba eliminating Drew McIntyre from the Royal Rumble, or vice versa. One of them being responsible for the other's elimination, which is just old school WrestleMania match booking. I mean, back in the day, they'd always book a WrestleMania match based on who eliminated who in the Royal Rumble. Not all the matches, but a lot of times you'd get one match that was hinged off of that somehow over some Royal Rumble beef. Oh, and as soon as Ricky hit the ring, Javon had hands for him. Justin, that's a good question. I'll have to entertain the idea of starting to watch TNA now that they'll have a new streaming deal. I'll have to see if I can afford it, because I think it's going to be on a streaming service that I don't have, and they're not being put on Netflix. So I'll have to weigh that in the budget and see if I can afford to do it. Maybe if I can get memberships open, we can maybe the channel can fund it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, Bouncy in the house. He is the bouncy house, Javon Evans. Big suplex and a kip up from Javon Evans. Super kick to the side of the head. Now, I know they taped this show, but you can kind of hear how tired the crowd is, which I hate that for Javon and Ricky. Crowd started to wake up for Javon just there, though. I did see, yeah, Ariana Grace turned heel on Santino. I imagine that was only a matter of time, though, right? But she did the deed, man. She's a great performer too. She's a great superstar. She's got her dad's DNA for sure. She knows how to entertain a crowd, and I love her for that. Ricky Saint's trying to go after the leg of Javon, but he's not making a ton of contact with it. But he eats a boot to the face instead, Ricky does. Javon trying to get back in control, still selling that leg. He's swinging, though. Oh, and Ricky swinging right back. Oh, George. Yeah, Jacy, if she knew it was good for her, I think she could cut a real whiny promo about not winning Female Superstar of the Year. Oh my gosh. So Ricky Saints throws Javon Evans into the faulty barricade portion of the NXT arena, but the rail on top came flying off and hit Javon in the head, which is pretty rough. Javon just getting his head slammed into the announce table now and thrown back into the ring. Yeah, Justin, I'm kind of surprised we hadn't seen more of Tessa front and center in TNA or in the NXT partnership either. She would be a wild entrant in the Royal Rumble. Big dive from Javon to the outside, wipes out Ricky Saints. That could be a upcoming commercial break too. We'll have to see. All right. Big young OG chance. And Ricky goes to rolling out of the ring again. And Javon about to give chase, going out of the ring, but he's hobbling. And now Ricky thrown into the barricade. Do I think Zilla Fatu might show up? I wouldn't see a reason for him to show up in this, but that doesn't mean he wouldn't. But it wouldn't make a ton of sense to me. Javon Evans got Ricky on the announce table just throwing bombs on him. Javon prepping for a springboard. Dude, that guy gets so much air on a springboard. It's crazy. Springboard clothesline only gets 2, though. Man, just so much agility. Ricky attacked Zilla at a show. Oh, okay. You know what? I remember seeing that now. But also, I would keep in mind that whatever happens, that what we're watching now is already 2 weeks old. So if that happened in the in-between, I doubt they would have had this being taped. So if we see Zilla try to get his lick back, it probably wouldn't be till next week, would be my thought. The Ricky's threatening to, okay, we're a commercial now. Well, Ricky was still maintaining control on the outside of the ring. So we're wrapping up NXT Year. We're about 10 minutes away from the end of the show. And so some good awards tonight. So, we see Sol Ruka, Female Superstar of the Year, Zaruka, Tag Team of the Year, Javon Evans, Male Superstar of the Year, and also Javon Evans wins Match of the Year along with Trick Williams and Obafemi. So quite a display of some of the most popular talents in NXT from 2025. So quite a show tonight, and sending us out of 2025 and prepping us right away for New Year's Evil next week. So we shall see what awaits us in 2026 for the men and women of NXT. Also a fun little Joe Hendry concert that ended in a huge beatdown for Joe Hendry at the hands of Dark State, and just being watched by Tony D'Angelo as well. Justin asked, do you think that 2025 was an interesting year for wrestling? Interesting, I think, works as a descriptor. I think there were some things that occurred in 2025 that were worth discussion. Quality wise, I don't know that it was as good a year as 2024. But 2025 gave us a lot of things to talk about. Just in NXT alone, we started off the year with Obafemi winning the title, getting Julia and Stephanie Vaquer into the company, the TNA partnership, Jacy Jayne's, rise, Sol Ruka's rise, Blake Monroe and Ricky Saints debuts, seeing the Hardys come back, seeing Leon Slater get involved. I mean, there was quite a lot to talk about just in NXT alone this year. And like I didn't even say anything about John Cena, who dominated the headlines of the main roster all year long. So 2025 was 100% an interesting year for wrestling, because it wasn't it wasn't so much of a big deal. Excuse me, that's not what I meant to say. It gave a lot of headlines, a lot of discussion, as to what people thought of the quality of those things. That is another discussion to have for sure. Sol, how long did she hold those belts? Well, she won the North American title and the speed title in the same week. She mentioned that in one of her award speeches, and she lost them, I want to say in October, maybe. So she had them both, I want to say, for about 6 months. That's just rough math estimate on my part, though, because she won the North American title, I think it's Stand and Deliver, in the ladder match. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see what the next year holds for Sol. If she can stay healthy, I think she could be NXT champion by this time next year, or would have been NXT champion for a brief run by this time next year, if she's not already on the main roster and just bypasses it altogether. We'll see. All right, back in the ring, Javon Evans reverses a suplex with a suplex of his own. Vic Joseph putting over the history of Javon Evans in the past 12 months, and this time last year when his jaw was wired shut in that feud with Ethan Page. Big Superman punch there from Javon. Dro, I wouldn't want to see AJ versus Tyson. I have all the respect in the world for Tyson, but he needs to take his Jake Paul payday and just retire. AJ would hurt him. And it's no disrespect to Tyson. Tyson's one of the goats, but I wouldn't want to see that, because AJ is a legit modern fighter. Yeah. Oh, big boot from Ricky Saints. We're about 7 minutes away from the end of the show. Big kick to the back of the head, pushes off the tornado DDT. And now what's Javon? Javon going to go for a tornado DDT of his own and nails it right in the middle of the ring. Saints back up, eats a knee. Oh, Tyson Fury. Gotcha, Dro. Okay, well, AJ versus Tyson Fury is a much more appetizing fight than Mike Tyson. My goodness gracious. That would have been brutal. Do I think that David Finlay is going to sign with WWE after his contract for New Japan? Wait a minute. Isn't one of the Finlays in Chase U right now? Uriah Connors or Cale Dixon? I can't remember which one is which, but one of them is a Finlay, aren't they? I wouldn't be surprised to see Finlay come to WWE, because there seems to be a real resurgence of tough European style wrestlers on the roster between Gunther, Ilya, Regal, is backstage now, which, Dempsey in NXT is also one of those guys, as is, Finlay, like you said. So, okay. So I think it's a good question. I think he'd be a good fit. I would be, no pun intended. I am curious, like, how that might work out. Oh man, big suicide dive coming out of the ring across the announce table. They really like that spot in NXT now, is that suicide dive, and then tumbling over the announce table. I would hate to be Vic Joseph or Booker T, man. I don't think they get hazard pay, man. And you don't ever see Michael Cole or Wade Barrett or Joe Tessitore having to bail like that on a weekly basis. Big frog splash off the top from Javon. Is that going to be enough to put Ricky away? Only two. Ricky survives. Okay. Thank you, Lockwood. I wasn't sure which Finley was the one in Chase U, but I thought there was one of them. Oh man, Ricky Saints just knocked that. Oh man, Ricky almost stole it, but the ref caught him with his feet on the ropes. Thank goodness. Not like this. And big clothesline misses, and Ricky hits the spear. I have thoughts about the spear, by the way. I feel like the spear is way overused by too skinny of wrestlers. Tornado DDT from Ricky, and he kicks out at one. I'm also not a fan of kicking out at one. But Javon's firing up, though. Yeah, Ricky's ear bleeding. Now he's going to go for the Rochambeau. But reversal. Swing and a miss from Javon. Oh, he countered the spear with a cutter from Javon. He's going up top. And, oh, no. Ricky dives out of the way, and Javon hits the cutter on the referee. You know we're about to get some shenanigans now. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Okay. Javon's pulling Ricky up. Kick to the nads. Javon, Ricky goes low. Crowd is booing. Ref still stirring over there in the corner. Now he just smacks Javon. He's going to go up for the Rochambeau. Ooh, can he get him up? Come on, Javon. And he hits it, and there's a second ref in the ring. 1, 2, 3. Ricky sends Javon packing for 2025. Will that be the last time we see Javon Evans in an NXT ring as an active member of the NXT roster? I don't know. But even with Ricky being NXT champion, Javon had a better year. He had a far better year. He was a star in every single arena he walked into this year. And the sky's the limit for Javon, even if this match was not. Kind of a flat finish to end the year, I have to be honest, with NXT. Didn't love it. But you know what? Next year is a new week. Next week is a new year. New Year's Evil. It's a new card. It's going to be stacked, and I think we'll have a lot to look forward to. There's a lot of excitement on the horizon. Here is the card for next week's New Year's Evil: Tatum Paxley versus Izzy Dame. Amen to A&B Combos Wrestling Edition. Boo this man. Boo the NXT Women's North American Championship. Blake Monroe versus champion Thea Hale. Also not pictured as Jordan Grace, who will be in Thea Hale's corner. Jacy Jayne defends the NXT Women's Championship against Evolve Women's Champion Kendall Gray, with Wren Sinclair in her corner. More than likely, Jacy Jayne retains, but who knows? Kendall Gray's got that smoke. Oba Femi also defends the NXT Championship against TNA X Division Champion Leon Slater. Can Leon shock the world? I don't know, but we'll find out next week. And Ricky Saints still doing his stupid posing on the turnbuckle. And we've got credits rolling. Will we see anything at the end of the year here, as Javon is still just laid out in the ring? Okay. And that, I guess, is that, ladies and gentlemen. That is NXT for 2025. From my heart to yours, thank you so much for giving me a blessed year at Marked by Wrestling to um, watch NXT with you guys every single week. We will start the year anew again next year with New Year's Evil, and we will have a blast. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be great. So here is to 10K coming up in the new year. Here is to super chats and memberships being unlocked in the new year, and more entertaining conversations, and us bonding as a community and loving wrestling together, finding the things we enjoy and celebrating those things, and not getting dragged down by the things that separate everybody else. We are a united family, united community here. We love what we love, and we rock with that together. So thank you guys so much for being with me this year, for giving me such a fun year. My first time doing something like this. I really, really appreciate it. And please, if you've got some more time tonight, hop on over to Just Alex's channel in the next couple of minutes for his year-end awards special. Let me put up my friends here, A&B Combos. They'll be there as well. Whittier, and we're proud to have stood shoulder to shoulder with you. See everyone in 30 at Alex's World for yes. So we'll be there in 30 for Alex's end of the year awards. And I've said it every single week, and I believe it just as much tonight as I do every single week, guys. Don't be afraid to be a mark, because being a mark just means you believe, and believing makes wrestling better every single time. Every single time. You guys take care of yourselves, and I will see you again very, very soon, especially if you jump over to Justice Alex's channel. If not, I'll see you guys next week. Take care of yourselves. Love you all so much, and have a safe and happy new year.